I think I speak for pretty much everyone when I say that chemistry amongst actors of a TV show is up there with the most important parts of creating a successful series. Most of the time, it comes down to guesswork and the blind hope that when the cameras are rolling, your carefully assembled cast will mesh well together. Fortunately, it seems the Wheel of Time's cast have had no trouble singing from the same hymn sheet, and we'll be discussing in today's video alongside a plethora of other Wheel of Time news stories from the last few weeks. Firstly, when will we get Season 2? Before we go any further with discussing Season 2 of Wheel of Time, when can we expect to actually get the second season? Well, the short answer is that we don't officially know, but the long answer is a lot more fun because there are quite a few factors we can take into account as we speculate to try and come up with an estimate. The first thing that's important to note with Wheel of Time is that the show was actually renewed incredibly quick. Many television programs don't receive an official renewal until whichever season is in production goes live, giving the network time to assess its performance and decide whether or not they want to continue the show. This can leave the fans and even the showrunners themselves in a cagey state of limbo where they aren't entirely sure where they stand. But thankfully, this is something we were lucky enough to avoid with Time, as the show was given the Season 2 greenlight by Amazon way back in May of 2021. Remarkably, this was months before Season 1 even made its debut, as Amazon's head of global TV, Vernon Sanders, proclaimed that he and the decision makers had been so impressed by the level of work during the production phase of Season 1 that they had zero reservations about commissioning a second season. One neat perk of this is that as of writing Season 2, it's already been through a sizable portion of its production cycle, with filming beginning in July and an update at the time of Season 1's debut revealing that it was halfway through production. Vernon Sanders added a further update in December as he revealed that he'd seen various cuts of the second season's first episode, commenting that he was excited for when the fans will finally get to see the new season. With all of this in mind, fans can be optimistic of seeing Season 2 at some point this year, as so much of the work is already done that it would take an unusually long post-production process to delay it beyond 2022. Getting a little more specific, fans of fantasy have pointed out that Amazon are set to release a Lord of the Rings series at some point in late 2022, and this has led to conclusions being drawn that it's unlikely for Amazon to remove their two primary fantasy epics so close to each other. Sanders seemed to confirm this when he noted that they would be really thoughtful with how they go about releasing their shows. Ultimately, this would suggest that they will aim to release the show in either spring or summer of this year, and considering the production timeline, either option could be possible. Next up, Wheel of Time cast members discuss chemistry. As we went over in the introduction of today's video, on-screen chemistry matters a lot for producing an enjoyable piece of television, and this holds especially true for developing the relationships between characters on screen, with romantic relationships in particular living or dying based off the chemistry of the actors involved. There are plenty of examples, with the rather wooden atmosphere between Kit Harington and Emilia Clarke hindering their on-screen love affair as Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones. Willis Neil Patrick Harris and Colby Smulders' excellent dynamic in How I Met Your Mother ensured that the relationship between their characters, Barney Stinson and Robin Scherbatsky, remained believable to the audiences. With this in mind, it's been a welcome sight to see the cast of Wheel of Time generally matching up quite well with one another, and according to a recent interview conducted by certain members of the cast, the chemistry seems to be carrying over to Season 2. Entertainment magazine Inverse recently spoke with Time stars Danielle Henney, who plays Landman Dragarin, and Zoe Robbins, who plays Naive Almira, whose characters followed book canon by hooking up in the later stages of Season 1. Although we've seen these two characters in a romantic plotline for a short while, there's still plenty of ground to explore given that they only got together late in Season 1. But if Henney and Robbins' interview is anything to go by, we should be in for some great TV. Remaining tight-lipped on the exact details of what awaits us in Season 2, Henney claimed that Zoe and I have amazing chemistry together, that they really are enjoying working together, and that they couldn't ask for a better partner for a love storyline. This would, of course, suggest that we're going to see plenty of more of Lan and Nynaeve as a couple in Season 2. And more on Season 2. Henney and Robin seemed to be in a very giving mood during their talk with Inverse, as they not only touched on their characters' futures as an on-screen couple, but they also gave some insight into where their respective characters will be developing over the course of Season 2 as a whole. Starting with Robbins, the actress proclaimed that we're going to see a lot more depth brought to the story on screen before going into detail on her character Nynaeve. Fans of the show will recall that during the Season 1 finale, Nynaeve is burned by fire magic only to be saved through the healing powers of Egwene, and though she is physically whole, Robbins has hinted that she'll carry a mental burden through Season 2. We can expect a lot more trauma emotionally and physically, claimed Robbins, before going on to state that Nynaeve is going to battle with a lot of her own insecurities and come to grips with her destiny. It seems that we will see plenty of introspection from our favorite characters, with Robbins adding that we will get to see a more vulnerable side to her role. Henney will discuss discussing Lan agreed with the general theme of internal reflection, as his character will have to ask some very difficult questions of himself with relation to his role within the world. Henny also hinted that much of Lan's progression in Season 2 will center on his relationship with Rosamund Pike's character, Moraine Damodred, who he currently serves as the bodyguard for. Henny has promised that we're going to see a side of him we haven't seen yet in Season 1, suggesting that we could potentially get a large character arc for Lan in the second season. So, who will be in it? Considering the story we've just gone through, we can be pretty sure that Daniel Henny and Zoe Robbins will be reprising the roles in the upcoming season, unless they're playing some twisted game where they pretend to have been involved in the filming process, which would be incredibly weird. So those two are accounted for. But what about the rest of the cast? It's of course very important that the show retains as many of its cast members as possible, as so many of the Wheel of Time characters have become beloved by fans who would certainly be left disappointed by their abrupt departure. Thankfully, it seems that the overwhelming majority of the Season 1 cast will be reprising their roles, and this is something that was potentially helped by the quick renewal and subsequent production process of Season 2. The second season began shooting only a couple of months after filming for Season 1 ended, meaning that they were quickly able to get their actors back on set. The woman behind the central character, Moraine Damodred, Rosamund Pike, is of course set to return, along with Madeleine Madden and Marcus Rutherford as Egwene Alver and Perrin Ibarra, respectively, amongst many others. We do know of one cast member for sure who won't be returning, as Barney Harris has been confirmed as having left the show. Nobody is really sure of why he left, with the overriding theory being that he refused to be vaccinated against COVID-19, though these are obviously just rumors and shouldn't be taken as concrete fact. His character, Matt Cawthon, will instead be played by Donald Finn, who is most well known for his role in The Witcher. Finally, new characters? Now that we've established that we'll be seeing almost all of our favorite characters from Season 1 back for the second season, the question instead turns to what new characters we'll see for the latest stories set to unfold within the world of Wheel of Time. One big name confirmed to be joining the cast is Kira Coveney, who's making her first step into a truly big-budgeted project as she plays Lady Elaine Turkand. Turkand, earmarked as a favorite of showrunner Rafe Judkins, is likely to play a crucial role in the future of the show, making her a rather exciting addition. Mira Sayal of Doctor Strange fame and Peaky Blinders' Natasha O'Keefe have also joined the cast, although we're not sure exactly which characters those two will be playing yet. Regardless, all three of these new cast members are immensely talented and should make for fine additions to an already loaded cast. And that's everything. Are you excited for Season 2? Which new characters do you think we'll get? Do you have any predictions for plot lines? Let us know in the comments section down below. And until next time, we'll see you soon.